Cheers, Clovis, Wiggles, and all of the good people out there. And welcome to my first after party ever. And we've got in the house Shartan. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. Thank you for letting me into your first ever after party. I'm honored to be.
Just a sec. Well, I had the live stream on in one of my other tabs. I had the most awful echo you could ever imagine.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad.
No, it wasn't. It was it was me.
It was you. All right.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I'm honored to be on your first ever live after party. So thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. And I mean, it's been good fun when we've been together. I mean, we met on one of Neil the 604 Atheist streams.
Yeah, good guy. And everybody out there watching, you should really go out and check out his channel. Good content there, good conversation, good guy all around, just good fun to be with. So go to Neil the 604 Atheist on YouTube.
Oh goodness. Slight issue with the beer I found for the stream.
Yeah, I was trying to make a spiel for fucking Neil here, and you just
spill for Neil. Well, this would be a spill for Neil then.
Spill for Neil.
I sent him an invite. Let's see if he's 9 hours behind us. So
yeah.
Hey Jeff.
But if you have the chance, go into Neil 604 the Atheist. Check out his channel. Good guest, good conversation. Just all around good guy. Even though he's Canadian, just make sure you go in there and you check that out.
I know Neil, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, I chose to start the stream because now Shartan came on and we were almost 5 minutes late. Anyway, I am having a Grimbergen Belgian Pale Ale. I found out that was something in the Grimbergen a catalog that I didn't that I haven't tried out yet. Grimbergen is, a lot of people believe, Kronenberg, the French brewery Kronenberg's craft brew brand. However, both Kronenberg and, by extension, Grimbergen is actually owned by Carlsberg. So this is actually a Danish beer.
I always buy the amber one. I really enjoy the amber one.
Well, it's okay, but I mean, it's basically, let's just say it this way. You can taste that it's Carlsberg.
What's wrong with that?
A lot. It's Carlsberg, first of all. That's what's wrong.
Oh, fucking Danish people. Like, and your fucking self-hate of your own beer.
Yeah. We're kind of proud of hating our own beer. Where did I put my phone? I'm supposed to take a picture of this.
I'm gonna jump something on Hops here. He does not know this, but I am going to be driving through his city on the 3rd of July.
Okay, are you going to drive through what again? Sorry,
I'm going to drive to where you live, mate.
Oh, I live in Chu in Siste.
I know. You've told me. I've got a pen in my Google Maps because you told me when we met on Neil's channel.
Wow.
So me and my dad are taking our bikes over to, as soon as the border opens, right? And if it's open on the 2nd of July, we're taking the boat over and we're going down to Sora. And we're going to be driving all the way through Denmark. And we were hoping that maybe you'll have time for a little meet and a photo opportunity.
Definitely. I will.
We pass you by. We won't have more than like an hour or two, but we thought we might have a pit stop around your house, maybe go to the pub and have a little bit of pints before we leave.
Definitely.
Yeah?
We should do that.
Bringing on this on you live, mate. Everybody, the whole internet heard you. You said yes. There is no take backs. It is all live.
It's you're kind of committed now.
Yes, yeah. but definitely. I mean, you're always welcome. If I'm home, stop by.
No.
We'll have a pint.
You're making caveats, mate. You're making caveats now that if you're home, like you're gonna be home when I go by your house, mate.
Well, the day before is my son's birthday, so there's a good chance I'll be home.
Well, you know,
when's your son's birthday?
On the 1st of July.
1st of July.
you know, Dave Con's been moved to next year now. I think in April. So you could get you guys over there for that, really, if you can.
I'd love to. I'd love to meet some of you guys in real life. I mean, that's always so awesome to meet people from the internet in real life.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here, if you're wondering, Linda's coming in. Hey.
Oh.
Hey, Linda.
Hello.
Hello.
More than just ask you a question. Sorry.
There's Morton coming in as well. Or
So, go to Scummer. Do you have a less complicated name for a drunk Norwegian in Sweden?
Is that no? I mean, you call it Jeff. That's my name.
Jeff.
So,
all right. So,
I didn't know how.
You're in the south, right?
Yeah, I'm based at Southampton. It's just the Scummer nickname is to do with the football team I support. It's actually a derogatory sort of name our local rivals Portsmouth give us is Scummers. I just decided to embrace it and say, you know.
So you're outside Southampton, is that correct, mate?
Yeah, I'm based just outside the city of Southampton, so.
Okay.
But yeah, for my sins, I'm a bit of a football fan, and so I did something that was somewhat related to the football club I support. So, and as you spend 30 plus years supporting Southampton, it's one thing you learn to be is gracious in defeat. So,
yeah, you really have, haven't you?
Yeah.
What you doing up here?
Yeah. I find it more fun to support a team that doesn't win trophies every year, though, in a certain respect. So.
So I've never been. The furthest down south I've been is like Brian O'Love.
Sorry.
The furthest down south, Brian O'Love.
Brighton and Hove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the furthest south I've ever been.
Yeah, we're literally about 60, 70 miles up the coast from Brighton. So if you head west from Brighton, the next big city you get to is probably Portsmouth, and then about 20 miles from that is Southampton. So it's literally right, just up the south coast from Brighton.
So you're pretty far down south, right?
Yeah, we're on the south coast.
Yeah, all right. Good. At least you're not a Brummy bastard.
You on about what's wrong with Birmingham?
Everything.
There's nothing wrong with Birmingham. Yeah. I'm an Aston Villa fan.
Birmingham.
I'm an Aston Villa fan, so there's nothing wrong with Birmingham.
Okay.
Not that I ever went to Birmingham, though. The only reason is that the lead singer of Napalm Death is an Aston Villa fan.
Yeah, they're from Napalm Death are from Birmingham. Yeah. Actually, Birmingham and heavy metal are just heavy metal came from Birmingham, so Black Sabbath, it's just an argument, but obviously Black Sabbath's ties with Birmingham, and then a little bit later Judas Priest, then obviously Napalm Death when the grindcore scene exploded in Britain,
Yeah, for fuck's sake, yeah.
But then obviously
What? Me?
Linda, yeah, whereabouts in the world are you?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Bit of
the
sea and
country
Danish.
with no hills, no mountains, no valleys, just flat.
Pretty much.
It's basically Holland without the weed.
Yeah, you can say that.
I started.
Yeah.
You're not making it sound appealing there.
Bland Holland. Bland Holland.
Bland,
Actually,
yeah.
there is one thing that is different from Holland. Denmark is not as densely populated as Holland. So we actually have we have huge stretches of farmland, which can actually be rather beautiful, like where I live in Thy.
Well, we got 3 islands.
I have to say, it is fantastically beautiful for the first 2 hours you're driving through it. On the 3rd hour, it starts to get a bit tedious.
You're right, but as Linda says, we have all these islands, so we have a lot of sea to look at, which is actually beautiful as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Apart from-
Norwegian. I've never seen the sea.
It's beautiful here where I live.
Where do you live?
And that is down at is that near Korsør or Skilskør, or where is it?
It's near Skelkør.
Cool.
Ah,
Oh, so you've got the
6 kilometers away from Skelkør.
right. Can you see the Harbo Brewery from where you're living?
Not from where I'm living, no.
Okay, but if you go up a bit, you would be able to.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But can see it when we are in Skelskør, and we can also smell when they are brewing.
Oh yeah, you tend to be able to do that when you're near breweries.
Yeah.
Smell of hops brewing.
Yeah,
beautiful.
exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah. And we also got Stigsness. You can go to Agersø and Omø.
All right. Well, all the Danish. I mean, Denmark has a lot of islands, a lot of small islands.
We've been
Some of them are even populated.
We've been to Agersø. It's very, very, very calm and relaxed over there. And you can walk the island.
So,
It's not so big of an island.
I think a lot like islands around the UK. It's mainly off of Scotland, especially off the west coast of Scotland. There's a lot of islands.
Yeah.
So you're on Shetland, right? Linda?
Me, yes.
Yeah. So you're on the correct island.
Correct? Is there a wrong island?
Yeah, because Hobbs is on the wrong one.
I am really.
He's in Jutland. Yeah.
I've been on both sides a couple of times. I grew up in Jutland, and I've lived in Copenhagen and Zealand a lot of years. What was that again?
No, I'm just making a joke.
That's fair enough.
You used to live in Copenhagen, didn't you? Because before it got like super gentrified.
Well, I'm glad I found out I've pronounced Jutland correctly all these years now. So
yeah, in Danish it's Jylland.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's named after. Is it named after? Was a tribe called the Utes or something? I think.
Hey, Jeff, let's do some Danish lessons for you. Do you know the Danish word for maybe?
Sorry.
I have no idea. I do not know a word in Danish.
Måske.
Måske.
Okay.
Måske.
Måske. Okay.
And then you have the Danish word for 50, which is pretty fucking amazing. Well, 50, 60, 70, and 80, 90 is pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, it comes
they
from
count in 20s.
No, yeah, we count in. Well, we don't think of it that way. We kind of just learn it, but it is a pretty screwed up number system indeed. 50 is 50, 60, 70.
94.
And
I should know a little. Sorry, I should know a little bit more about like, Scandinavian languages, considering I've got that
Sorry,
tattooed on me.
Jeff.
right.
Sorry.
Still, however, the Danish number system is very, very different from the other Scandinavian countries. And basically, it's an
different from
ancient.
every other country, mate. It's not just the Scandinavian. It's different.
Well, the
from
French,
every other-
the French one is about as stupid, and the Irish one.
That is ridiculous. But I don't have a French person to fucking piss on right now. I just have you.
Right, fair enough then. Also, the Irish have a kind of a weird, or at least not very logical number system of counting, and actually they got several side by side, and you have to know exactly when to use which one. I think the most logical one.
I'd rather we don't use the frogs as a metric for what is normal.
We should use Welsh as a metric for what is normal counting. Actually, well, the Welsh counting system, the modern Welsh. Seriously, the modern Welsh counting system. That's the most logically consistent one I've ever encountered, and that's because. I guess it would be the last by one language reform they had. They decided to ditch the extremely complicated traditional way of counting in Celtic languages, which they preserved in Irish. So they ditched it in Welsh and kind of made it up anew, and made sure this time we will just make it absolutely logical and internally consistent, and they actually did that. The easiest language that I know to count in is Welsh, though I actually forgot most of it because it didn't stick.
Yeah, I do not know any Welsh at all. I mean, it's scary though how many Welsh people do not know a word of that language. It depends on whereabouts in Wales you're from, I think.
I can say, do you want potatoes? Which is dichi esai tatus. Dichi. There are a lot of sounds
yeah,
all the time.
I mean, so often the few bits of like old English I've heard do have a Welsh twang, although this is sort of almost though it's more of a Germanic language, because there's a lot of people are under this misconception that Old English is like sort of Geoffrey Chaucer type of thing. That's actually Middle English. I mean, like Old English is just not recognisable really from the English language today.
That's
Old English.
Beowulf is Old English, right?
Beowulf. Yeah.
And that's closer to Frisian as far as I know.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, if you look at Frisian, if you know German, you can actually read Frisian and to an extent understand what it says. It's like it's somewhere between Dutch and German, I would say.
Yeah.
And I also know a bit of Low German because I'm actually of North Frisian descent, so I know a bit of Low German. I don't know any Frisian though, but I've seen Frisian written, and it's not difficult to read if you know German and Low German.
I've got to say, I only know one phrase in Old English as well, which is "weird bid flied," which is fate. Fate is everything. I believe it roughly translates as, and I only know that through Bernard Cornwell novels. I've got to be honest about that. So,
fair enough. So, Linda, what are you actually? What are you doing on YouTube? What is your channel all about? Tell us all about it. And also, because now I'm getting distracted because I got this ADHD thing and stuff. I see there's is that the Lego car behind you that you were building on Christmas Day? The one behind you on the shelf.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It must be. And the International Space Station is also there.
I was in the
Is it?
stream where you and Morton were building that.
Yeah, we built that. We've built lots of Lego in streams.
So is that what you're doing on your YouTube channel, building Lego in your stream? So
Yeah, some of it. And
Yeah?
I've also got a show on Thursday called the TMI Show.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
And what are you doing on that show? Let's hear us
Show.
something about your channel.
Well, we just talk about everything and nothing. I ask some questions and we just have fun.
Okay. Like we're having right now.
Exactly.
Cool.
Just chill and have fun.
Chill and have fun. Sounds like a wonderful
no.
concept.
No pressure or anything like that. Just be yourself.
Okay. So Neil is working, so he's probably not coming in. But always nice to know when people aren't coming.
I'm so sorry you can't sleep, my love.
She was on the previous stream with us, Seraphim was, so.
Oh.
Yeah, so if she wants to come in, she can come in anytime.
Yeah.
The link is in the chitter. Crap.
If you haven't got it, Seraphim, I can always send it to you if you do want to pop in for a little bit.
5.5%. So this isn't actually very interesting.
Just reminded me of something.
What the fuck are you talking?
No, you can swear on my stream. I don't fucking care. You can swear all you want.
I like that beer.
You can have some more of it then, because I don't think I'll have any more.
Yeah. Can you send it over? I'm just drinking.
I'm afraid I can't.
Tuborg. So.
Tuborg Classic. It's not more. Well, to my taste, it's not much more interesting actually than that. I think and what I'm doing right now is, if you've noticed, I was sitting with my notebook here. I was actually taking notes because I'm going to review it on my blog. My blog that had its 10-year anniversary the day before yesterday, actually.
Ooh, congratulations!
Thank you. And
your blog is older than my longest relationship.
Wrong one.
Certain, what you were saying?
I'm saying that your blog is older than my longest relationship.
Huh.
Well, it's older than my longest relationship as well.
Not mine.
No, that's wonderful.
Well, good for you then. Show off.
Shut up. Yeah, well, my relationship, I still got him. I'm married to him.
That's wonderful.
Huh?
Have you told him?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
He got the same. He got a wedding ring he cannot run from.
Wow.
Yeah, but we have only been married for 2 years. But we've known each other for 21 years.
Oh.
Congratulations.
My first ever.
That's beautiful.
Boyfriend?
Met online. Yeah.
20 years. I mean, wow. The internet goes that long back, after all.
Yeah, it was in 1999.
When did I get... I mean, I was living in a dorm when, in the dorm, we got internet, we got broadband. Must have been pretty new at that time, but I mean, we were pretty much ahead. We definitely had a very fine broadband connection back in 1999. So, and did you both live around where you live, or have you moved there?
I lived in Næstved.
Næstved.
Næstved, yeah.
I've been there a lot.
And Morten lived in Slagelse.
Ah, okay. So not that far away from each other.
No. Just a bus ride.
Right.
At that time.
No, I don't think it tastes of much. It's, I mean, it's not bad, but then again, it's a bit bland.
I think it's a good IPA.
A bit sourish, which is good to my taste buds. But the hops profile is kind of weak. I mean,
and what do you mean
again
by that?
The English word bland is very so applicable bland. Here. It doesn't taste of much. It's a bit dull. And not with much character.
Have you tasted other Grimbergen?
Yeah, and I am not generally very impressed. I actually tried some weeks ago, and that was also that was when I was recording a video. That was a Présent de Noël, the Christmas ale they had, and that was actually one that
all of them.
You see, that was actually one that was way past its expiry date, almost 1 year past its expiry date. However, it was also a dark beer.
Yeah,
and dark beers generally mature for some time in the bottle. Which gave it a bit of more richness, a bit of more softness to it. You don't want to keep any beer for too long, then it'll start oxidizing, and then it'll get bad no matter which kind of beer it is. But dark beers generally get better if you give it some time, and that was actually pretty good.
Okay.
So the Présent de Noël, I was okay. The other ones I'm not very impressed by, I have to admit. Sorry.
I've been meaning to tell you this, Hobbs. I told my brother about you and your beer blog.
Yes.
He has seen your beer blog, but he thinks it's too kedelig.
Boring, really?
Boring. Yeah, he said that. But he is a really big beer enthusiast, and he likes lots of dark beer.
Now the interesting thing is, why exactly would you think that it's boring?
I don't know.
Not that I'm offended in any way. I mean, if you thinks it's boring, I mean, no one is obliged to read it. But I'll take any kind of constructive criticism. I am writing a lot about other things than beer. Is that the issue?
He said he actually said it was. It was a boring kind of beer that you reviewed.
Ah, I understand. Okay, so my the concept has been from the very beginning that I want to review beers that is generally I want to review beers that are accessible to anyone. So mostly I'll review beers that are in the supermarkets, that anyone can get, so that people will know whether they should buy a beer or rather leave it and not waste their money on it. That's pretty much the concept. So,
Okay.
so of course, also whenever I get the chance, I'll try stuff that is not readily accessible as well. But that's not what I'm focusing on. I am indeed focusing on generally what everyone can get.
Yeah. It's just because he's such a big beer enthusiast, and he is also a member of a club, and he knows someone in that club that's also have a blog, and he's more interesting and stuff. Well,
Okay, well, that's fair enough. And
that's what he
the
said.
question is, yeah, well, I
He was just like, "Hey, I
absolutely
know
understand that.
someone," and then
Yeah.
okay. Have
Well,
you
if
heard
he-
about him?
Right.
And he
Well, if he has some other more interest, if he has any suggestions of beers that I can get, or even contacts of how I can get some more interesting beers, I'll definitely look into it. And I mean, whichever beer I come across, I will try and definitely review. However, whenever I'm going out to find beers myself, it will be the readily accessible ones, because that's kind of the thing I've decided to focus on.
Or the cheap ones.
We are.
I am reviewing all the cheap beers. I am, and that's. I mean, I'm doing that more.
There and this. Oh, there we
I'm
go.
doing that more than the
I
expensive
love
ones.
that one. I love the Tuber Classic. Tuber Classic
Me
gets you going
too.
every day of the night.
And you have a gullel.
Good, Shalom.
Oh.
Oh,
and I'm only on Heineken.
But that again, now that's where you have to be careful, because if you try a gold beer in Sweden, it's actually a beer that you can buy in supermarkets there, and they don't contain more than 3.5%. Is that true? Is that correct?
If it's a folk beer, it's only 3.5. This is for the bottle store,
Right.
so it's 5.7.
Okay. So did you you bought that in Systembolaget?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Makes sense.
So you're from Sweden?
I'm from Norway.
No. How do you pronounce your name?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God I'm not.
That seems to be a general issue.
Bob.
Sorry,
Bob.
I do pronounce my name every now and then. Yes, I do.
Can I do it? Can I do it? It's Shartan.
Yeah.
Shartan. Oh.
You have to roll on the R. Shartan.
Oh.
Shartan.
You have to roll on the R.
Because I was saying earlier that
You have to pretend you like your
name. I've been mispronouncing that name for a while now, because there's a character in that, like I said, there's Bernard Cornwell novels I was reading with your name, like it was a Viking character, and for ages I was calling him Kjartan, but and it's like, that's fine, I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, no, it's a confusing name, and even it's a very Norwegian name. It's a very old Norwegian name, and even as you say, Danish and Swedes have a big problem with it, which has led to a lot of weird nicknames over the years. It got so bad that for periods of time, like you kind of became my nickname. I thought everybody thought my name was you.
You.
Yeah. Everybody was just like staring at my name tag for like 20 minutes, and they were like, you guy over there. Yeah. That's me. I'm the you guy. You.
You.
But you'd be amazed at how many people have actually mispronounced my name when they see it. The Americans that call me Geoff.
Geoff,
when they
seriously?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
Yeah,
Jeff?
so So you spell it like Geoff.
That's
Yes.
correct. Yeah.
All right.
So is
Same,
that
same as
particularly
Jeffrey
British?
Porter.
Is that
I mean,
particularly
the
British?
It's from Jeffrey though.
Yeah, it's I mean,
Exactly.
I think the origins of the name are like either Old French or Teutonic. I'm not quite entirely sure on the origins of the name, but I think it was a name that kind of came into Britain from I think from the sort of Normans. But yeah, I mean the sort of traditional way it's been spelled is the way I spell it. But I think it's been more like it's in recent last 100 years. So it's been a lot more people spelled it JEFF-REY.
Right.
So I think because there's a similar English name, it's Godfrey means it's the same means the same thing. So
Game of Thrones.
No, Godfrey, not Joffrey.
Sounds a
Funny thing.
bit alike. Sorry.
Sounds very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds similar.
I have a confession.
You just wanted it to sound similar so you could reference Game of Thrones.
I have a confession. I never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones.
You monster, I'm off this stream. Fuck you. No, I'm going to.
I've watched all of it. All of it.
Just never. I mean, it's just not something that I got into.
I'd say the German version of my name is Gottfried.
Gottfried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's the Danish word?
Gudfred.
I have
Gudfred?
no idea.
Godfred. Skulle det.
Godfred, yeah.
But you wouldn't encounter that much. But what was that again in German? Gottfried, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Godfred, which is in Danish, it means God's peace.
Yes.
However,
that's
the
correct,
Danish
yeah.
version. However, the Danish version is actually just you take the German word and well throw it into Danish as it is basically, because if it was supposed to be Danish, proper Danish, it would be Gudfred or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's Godfred, and I mean German, of course, has had a lot of influence in Danish, us being neighbors and that and stuff like that. So that's just been carried over as it is, basically.
But the only reason I was actually even named this was after English cricket player who I believe apparently scored a century on the day I was born, a guy called Geoffrey Boycott. If everything I know about him, he seems like a bit of an arsehole. I'm not that proud to be named after him, but
cricket is a weird game anyway, isn't it?
I like
Morten.
it to a degree, but
Look at his shirt.
Wonderful. Love it.
Morten.
They say hi.
I changed into a heavy metal shirt as well. I on the stream I actually wore a shirt from the cleaning company I was working for last year.
Oh, you got AC/DC.
Oh, you noticed? I was just about to say what. It's a bit of a fake.
Can you see mine at all?
Not really, because
my name tag is. There we go.
It's a badger.
So that's Rocket.
No, it's a raccoon.
Yeah, it's Rocket. Exactly.
It's Rocket.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I love that. I love those movies.
Right.
It's a raccoon. He's a raccoon.
I've loved the two movies that they've made.
Yeah, me too. I love how Groot is so cute.
Groot. I was really impressed with Dave Bautista in both of those films. Who's obviously, a professional wrestler, but He can actually act. So he's not bad. He was really good as Drax.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, can you believe that they cast Walt Kilmer? No, what is Vin Diesel to do the voice of Groot? For some reason,
he just says, "I am Groot."
Yeah.
That's just
and he
awesome that he agreed to do that.
Yes.
I love a lot of the music from those films. I just like the soundtracks are brilliant as well.
Do you know who
I would say
did
Guardians
the
of the
voice
Galaxy
of Rocket?
Yeah.
I would say that Guardians of the Galaxy is like, it's the best thing since like Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
And
Who did the voice of Rocket?
The
What?
voice of Rocket. What is he called now?
I should know.
Oh,
That's Bradley Cooper.
that guy
Bradley
who made
Cooper,
a movie with Lady Gaga. What the fuck is he
Bradley
called?
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
That's
that's Rocket.
Not that big. I'm not that big of a Lady Gaga fan, but I will say, however, I
watched it for free. Well, I
will
did
say, however, I mean, Lady Gaga is becoming more and more the Madonna of this generation, right?
Yeah.
Of the next generation. And while I never could understand why people had so high thoughts of Madonna, I never liked her music.
Is Morten gonna write something in the chat about it?
I understand much better. I do understand much better why people would have high thoughts of Lady Gaga, because I have to admit,
I can actually see why people compare her to Madonna, because Madonna adapted to the sound of the year, if you can say that, and so does Lady Gaga.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, she does.
Always following what's new, what's trending.
I know Lady Gaga's quite a fan of heavy metal music, though. I know she's a massive Iron Maiden fan. I know that.
Yeah.
And as I said, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I am much more impressed of what she's doing than I ever was of what Madonna's doing. For some reason,
I've watched Lady Gaga documentary.
No, all right. I'm gonna chime in now. All right, Madonna for 35 something years now has managed to stay relevant and just pump out hit after hit after hit. Her back in the 80s, like a Virgin and the stuff like that, it chimed home, right? Mm-hmm. Then she did Frozen back in the 80s. She's managed to like stay relevant, like make new music. Then you got Lady Gaga chiming in, right? And then you have all the cinematics. You got all of that. She's just basically just Boy George with tits. And she's got like 28 fucking singer-songwriters doing her fucking job for her. It's all 4 chords when she's doing that thing. Yeah. She's always doing G, A, B minor. It just sounds so familiar. I've heard it all before. And then you have to keep the drama going. But there's no substance.
I remember when
it's as closest to a David Bowie, a female David Bowie that we can get, because she's managed to stay relevant for almost 40 years. And you have to fucking respect her. You don't have to love her music, though.
I don't like her music, but I do respect, like you said, that she has changed things up and keep relevant.
Yes, she's always following what's new.
No, she's not following. She's creating the trends. That's what she's been doing. That's what David Bowie's been doing as well. She's not the follower. She's fucking creating the trends.
Yeah, she's making it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
in the 80s, she was already 90s, and
Yeah.
So on, so on, so on.
Everything that Samantha Fox did back after, that was what she's been doing for like 2 years, right? So she's always been relevant. We can draw parallels to Prince or Michael Jackson or David Bowie. That's what Madonna's been doing for 40 fucking years now, just pushing the boundaries of what pop music can do. And she's doing it by herself, writing her own song, doing her own producing, just being out there, fucking doing the work. This woman is a fucking menace to society because she's fucking intelligent. She will kill us in every fucking way that she can, and she's been pushing the boundaries. I don't like her music, but I fucking respect what she does. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's not that young anymore.
No, my mom and her are born on the same day.
Cool.
August 14th, 1958. You can look that shit up.
No shit. That's
So
my mom's
70
birthday.
this year.
Wow.
Wow.
My mom's birthday is on August the 14th.
Yeah, really? Funny.
Same year?
Yeah. So Madonna's been pushing the boundaries of pop music for 40 years now, and she keeps pushing it. Even though she's not as active as an artist, behind the scenes, she's still out there. She's still doing her thing, and she's pushing it. She did it back in, what was it, like 2006 with Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, that thing that they did on the VMAs, right? She's still pushing what is acceptable, what is okay, she's more than just a pop musician. She's a fucking advocate for women's rights, for fucking women power. She's been that for 40 fucking years. You have to look through that shit. Lady Gaga with her like fucking salami dress and all that shit. It's all about the antics. As soon as you throw money at her, she turns to the wind. You can't equate those two. And there's 40 people writing that Shallow song. That was 40 people involved in writing that fucking song. She was one of those 40 people. I'm not saying that she did not write a part of that, but if you look at who wrote that song, 40 people, 40 people.
Yeah, but
there's a difference.
That was for a movie. When she's doing stuff herself, she is writing it herself.
Not alone, though.
She's doing all the songs alone, and then she goes to her, I don't know, manager, producer, whatever. And they
I think this is
do
the thing, though. I think
I have seen the Lady Gaga documentary.
Let's hear what
that's a
what Jeff
1.5
has.
hour promo of Lady Gaga being amazing.
Let's just hear what Jeff had to say.
No, I just saying that I think it's more of a symptom of the times, rather, in a way, with modern popular music. I think it almost is sort of that it goes through all these pairs of hands or whatever with writing and producing, and it's perhaps why I've just zoned out on like a lot of modern music, because it just does feel so sanitized to me. If you know, and you know what I mean. It just feels just like it's manufactured, pasteurized, sanitized, whatever, for our protection, and any sort of artistic value that it had kind of got lost. And I'm just, like I said, I mean, maybe I'm just becoming a bit of an old fart now. I don't know, but that's just what takes me out of it with modern music now. There's nothing really for quite some time that's got me really kind of excited, and in terms of music, and even with stuff that I like heavy metal stuff. I mean, there's some bands that I listen to that are doing some interesting stuff, but I've not seen anything that's really grabbed me for a long time now.
I disagree. Because the most exciting thing on the pop scene right now, and I fucking love this girl because she's doing her thing and she's doing it by herself. she's alone in it. I fucking love Billie Eilish. She's a fucking hero.
I haven't ever listened to her, to be honest.
Her brother produced a whole album for her.
Yeah.
Heard her name
in his room. They were recording in his room.
No. Like what is like Billie Eilish was this like 13, 14-year-old kid who recorded
like this band. They're called Hexes.
And you have to remember, right? I'm a metalhead. I'm a thrash area metalhead. I'm the Pantera, Sepultura. I was never a Metallica fan. This is what I listen to. Like, it's Machine Head. Last time I went to Denmark, it was to go to
a couple of times.
Yeah, Machine Head, Pantera, Sepultura. That's what I love. And of course, Meshuggah is my fucking house gods. That's my go-to whenever I'm sad. I just listen to Meshuggah for like an hour. And
I've got to say, I never used to like Meshuggah, but they've kind of grown on me over the years. When I first heard them, I never really got into. I liked them, but they've grown on me.
Now you're all probably gonna hate me.
Go on then. Too late, baby. Too late. Already.
I like Rammstein.
That's cool. That's great.
Rammstein.
Yeah.
I love Rammstein as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you.
I mean,
you're
they sing in German, so how can you not love them?
Yeah.
You are all thoroughly mad.
I mean,
I love them.
No, seriously. I'm going to teach after the summer holiday. I'm actually going to teach. I finally found a teaching job, and I'm going to teach German to middle. Yeah, called middle school. Yeah, I guess middle schoolers. Would be the
so the first lesson is going to be Buch dich by Rammstein.
Well, if I can, I mean, look, for people teaching German, Rammstein is the gift that keeps on giving. It's really cool music, and you can hand the lyrics to the students afterwards and say, let's analyze this.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. You go on.
I don't even know what they are singing about, but Morten can translate for me.
German as a language has a great sound. Has a great sound, and so I completely understand your the attraction of that in itself, but. I mean, there's just another dimension to it when you understand the language and you can actually, look at the lyrics and analyze it. There's a lot of things to learn from that.
Morten says,
I don't. You probably.
If you don't mind, I'll just to say this. I think that what Linda said here is very, very important when we're listening to music. Sorry about that?
I just said I'll be back in 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah. I think what Linda said about music is very important here. It's not just about the lyrics, it's about what it makes you feel, like what the beat, what the whole contextualized thing makes you feel like. It's the whole. It's not just the lyrics. Sometimes you hear music in Albanian, or Ukrainian, or Russian, and you don't understand what the fuck you're saying about you, but you fucking feel something, right? Listening to that music, it makes you feel something. It makes you organic. It makes you kind of just be alive, and you're in the moment. You almost feel the pulse of the beats, and everything just goes together. And that's kind of what Rammstein's been tuning into since day one. Like, they got a really punchy beat. It's easy. They have the really heavy guitars in there. You don't have to understand it to feel something.
No. The song. Oh, sorry. Were you done?
No. Please go ahead.
The song that really got to me was Ohne dich.
Okay. Without you, I'm not sure if I know that.
It's
song,
kind of a
but-
sad song, but
It's one of their few ballads.
yeah. But also, the piano. Help me out, Morten. What is the piano version called? I can't remember. Morten says
No.
Stein. That one got to him.
No,
That's right. It's
And
about a
music
man
is supposed
building a house out of
But it's
stone.
music supposed to be about you. It's supposed to be about what you feel when you listen to that music, right?
Mein Herz brennt. They made a piano version of that. That's so awesome. So awesome. Till can really sing. What kind of dog do you have?
It's a Rosaya Goyara.
Oh, how much
It's a
again?
Russian dog.
What?
It's a Rosaya Goyara.
It's
a Russian dog.
A Russian dog? Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a combo between a German Shepherd and a Beagle.
Yeah. She's a bit big for both of them, but it's a Russian dog used for hunting like hares and rabbits and shit.
Okay. So we've got 2 dogs. So.
And she loves nuts.
I've got a ball python.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm allergic to the.
That's actually a cashew nut. She fucking loves that thing.
I am actually considering. I used to be extremely allergic to cats, but I absolutely love cats, and I've been around cats a couple of times lately, and I don't really seem to be that much allergic to them anymore. So I'm actually considering to get one.
Oh, we had to put our cat down recently.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you have to do that. Cats and dogs that just don't live as long as people, do they?
Where's my avatar? We lost him several years ago. That was my dog.
A spaniel?
English Springer Spaniel, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, let me get my.
He's a rescue dog.
Oh, he looks so sweet.
No, he was he came from like breeders and that, but he was a lovely dog.
Yeah, the spaniels are good dogs.
If I was to get a dog,
I've never had a spaniel.
I mean, if I wanted a dog, it should have been an Alaskan Malamute or a.
Yeah.
Or what are they called? Why am I losing this?
The husky.
Siberian Husky, a Siberian Husky or an Alaskan Malamute, or a mixture between the two. I mean, that's. I mean, I think it's because I'm actually a cat person, so I would choose the most cat-like dog there is in the whole world.
I've got a cat-like dog, actually.
The thing with huskies is that you can't really leave them by themselves for too long. They get very agitated. They're very pack centric, and it's very difficult to like go out and leave a husky for any length of time. So they can get very agitated.
Well,
huskies are a lot of work.
We've got a miniature pinscher, and he is definitely cat-like.
I'd like a West Highland Terrier.
It's going to be the least cat-like dog you'll ever fucking get. I want an Irish Wolfhound.
They're so cool.
Are they cat-like?
Nope.
No, they're not cat-like. They're like 2 meters tall, mate.
Yeah, big
right.
fucking dogs.
They're massive dogs.
Yeah.
But
They're
they're
bigger than
just
Great
like
Danes, yeah.
they're just like Great Danes. They're just so chilled and
From tail to nose, they're the biggest dogs in the world, right? The Great
Yeah.
Danes are taller when they're standing all four, but standing on 2 feet, the Irish Wolfhound is the biggest dog in the world.
Yep.
My parents are on their second now, and they're like the just most fantastic. Just except for you, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, she's getting like he's talking about different dogs, and she's getting upset with me now.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, I don't know if it is like this anymore here in Denmark, but when you get an Irish wolf dog, you have to be a part of the breeding program. I don't know if they have changed that.
yeah, because it's got some wolf blood in it. You have to be certified.
Okay.
I was at the old
My parents brought their Irish Wolfhound to Denmark last year, and
Oh.
they had to register him at the border and show like his breeding tablet, like his
his papers.
his ancestry. Yeah, all the so that like the wolf part of him was like so far back that it was irrelevant at that point.
Oh, okay. So that's why you have to register.
Yeah, the Irish Wolfhound and the Czech Wolfhound was kind of bred to protect sheep from wolves, right? And they used wolf blood to like genetically modify the dogs so they were big enough that they would scare the wolves off, right? They are created to scare and kill wolves. That's what these dogs are made for.
It's a bit like the,
we've got wolves around here, so
bred for similar reasons. The Caucasian Shepherd dogs bred for similar reasons. Fend off wolves,
I will be right back.
We've got wolves around here where I live, so I can't see the problem
wolves,
really.
Yeah, wolves have been extinct in the UK for hundreds of years now. We used to have wolves, but they came
back. They came back to Denmark some 10 or so years ago, and I mean this is one of the things that really polarizes people whether we should keep the wolves or shoot them down. I am very, very much on the we should definitely keep them side. Because I think it's just so awesome that finally we have. I mean, Denmark is we have so little original nature left in Denmark. There's a wee spot on the island of Bornholm, which is original nature, which is actually a piece of forest that has never been cut down and grew up again, so to say. All other forest in Denmark, for example, has been cut down at some time in historical records and has regrown, but it's then not original. There's a little spot on the fucking island of Bornholm which is not like that. So that's the only original nature that we have left in Denmark. I really love it.
I have a question. Is this true that you have the biggest of your area, biggest percentage of your area used for agricultural purposes in the world? Is that true?
Probably. I don't know, but I would. I mean, you mean the percentage of the country you're using for agricultural purposes?
Yeah.
I would. It would not come as a surprise. I don't know if it is so, but it would definitely not come as a surprise. I can tell you definitely. Not only do we have the largest amounts of pigs per inhabitant, or should I say, an inhabitant per pig, because we have way more pigs than we have inhabitants. And also, we are actually the only country in the world, as far as I understand.
Let's just say we
about the animal pig, not like you're talking about literal pigs, not by pigs as in people.
No, I'm not talking about policemen. I'm talking about actual pigs.
All right.
Yeah. We're not,
Yes.
we're not talking about the filth, no.
No, we're not. No, but seriously, in Denmark, I mean, we have this huge bacon export. You would know that,
Danish.
You get all the good bacon. You see, Jeff. All the good bacon goes to you, while we get the crappy bacon ourselves. That's what we're keeping. Anyway, but Denmark is allegedly the only country which not only has the largest number of pigs per inhabitant. We are also the only country where it makes sense to say it that way, to have a number of pigs per inhabitant, because we are the only country in the world that actually has more pigs than people.
Yeah, like every piece of pig that I buy in the store says Danish crown on it.
Yeah. Well, it's our main export. It's like oil for the Norwegian.
And it's like sheep for the Irish.
Now that we are ripping up in old wounds,
I generally sheep's more associated with the Welsh in the UK, but Wales is a lot. Probably to the point that there's some pretty shitty stereotypes about Welsh people in that regard, but
well, it's pretty much what we're living by. I'm gonna grab another beer, so just a second. I'll have to switch on some lights in here as well. It's getting
cool. No
worries. It's getting dark.
Yeah. I forget you're an hour ahead of us. He's
exactly.
Up to 10 o'clock
so Sharpton, but he has the lights on.
Yeah.
Just a sec.
All right, so Jeff, you're in Southampton. You were saying something about Welsh people.
Oh yeah, well I said about because Wales has got an awful lot of sheep or whatever, so you can imagine the kind of jokes that are made by mainly English people about the Welsh in that regard, and it's not funny in my opinion, but you know where I'm going with that, don't you?
I know where you're going.
Yeah, I don't want to say it on Hops' stream, but
no, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's like the Northern Monkey, Southern Fairy kind of thing. Like it's just banter.
It is, but at the same time, it can sometimes it can go a bit too far.
Yeah. I get where you're going. But it's kind of fascinating though how everything good ever come out of the UK has been essentially Scottish, and now it's British.
Well, I was actually born in Scotland, so I'm not going to argue.
I love Scotland.
Yeah, I love Scotland.
Even you are essentially Scottish. Well, now that you're a good person, you are British.
My parents are English, and my mum's side of the family are all from down like the south coast. The reason they're in Scotland at the time is they were based that they were in the British Royal Navy, and they were posted up in Scotland at the time, which is why I was born there. So, but yeah, so technically, I suppose like in terms of my ancestry or whatever, as far as I can tell, English. I found a little bit of Welsh ancestry on my grandmother's side, but generally, as far back as I've been able to trace, most of my ancestry is English, but I haven't been able to trace back as far as perhaps I'd like to, because I've run into stumbling blocks of like in the Victorian area of workhouses, and so that always becomes a bit of a that can be a stumbling block when you look tracing ancestry, because generally people who are in workhouses are either were either orphaned or there's not much about their records going back before the time they were there. So, and I've run into that on both sides of both my father's and mother's side of the family. So I've run into a couple of stumbling blocks there in terms of tracing my ancestry. So
we got a stout in the house. It's the Imperial Stout.
Ooh. I might have to go.
A bit down, host.
Oh no!
Down a bit. No, we also flat number.
Stuff's going on in my Discord.
Okay.
Okay.
I just cracked open a new beer. Well, Linda, if you have to leave, well, then you have to leave. And I'm so happy that you popped in.
Hey, what's your Discord, by the way?
Going on in the Discord,
can I pop into your Discord? Is that all right?
Yeah.
So what's your Discord?
Just a sec. I'll put it in the chat. Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat.
There we go.
I'll just jump in as well. I'm not sure if I'm a member of that.
Yeah, I have got a Discord server, but it's to be honest, I very seldomly ever use Discord. So,
well,
neither do I. I'm on it, but don't really use it much, and I see that other people are using it a lot, and I mean, there's a limit to how many kinds of social media that you want to be on, and that you can manage. So,
yeah, I kind of
it's like people are trying to get me to do an Instagram, and I just don't want to go near it. So
Yeah, no, neither do I.
Okay, so one of my heart issues, one of the parts that I. All right, bye, Linda.
Linda. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in. I just want to say, I left a link in the. I put a link in the Twitter group for watching Torben's videos. So if anyone else wants to pop in, and actually we've got. I mean, when Linda's leaving, we've got 3 more seats. So come in and have a blast. I guess a lot of people will be watching David Worley actually because he's got Grumpy Old Dude on.
Oh yeah.
I do have a couple of people.
I didn't know that he did. So if I knew, I'd probably throw the after party anyway. But and not feeling stupid that I didn't know. But yeah, well, I'll have to watch that later on.
I'm hoping I'm going to get Ed on my
Linda,
channel.
I still can't see your Discord in the chat, mate. Love. So if
I haven't seen it neither yet.
You got a wrench, Linda. You got a wrench on the channel or not? Or
oh no, I'll put it in the private.
Right, that's why. That's why.
I'll copy and paste it in there. Okay.
Yeah, do that. Jeff, that would be cool. I'll give you a wrench, by the way, Linda. You should.
The Ludibin. I fucking love it.
There you go. I think that should be linked to your Discord in there, Linda. So.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Okay, gotta go talk to my loonies.
I love it. I love it. Take care of yourself, all right? I love to meet you, Linda. Take care of yourself.
Bye-bye, Linda. See you.
Bye.
See you. So anyone being in the Twitter message board that I set up for this, jump in if you like. Okay, so I cracked open another beer, which is a Dougal's Imperial Stout, Edición Limitada. It's Spanish, so I'm exaggerating the Spanish sounds. Batch 2016. Alcohol level 9%.
Holy shit.
After having one of these and after having having another one of this size on the actual live stream at 6.5%. So I'm getting kind of buzzed. So how are you doing?
I'm getting there.
Do you mind if I send the link to Mikey?
Mikey Famine. Yeah,
no, you can do that, but I don't think you have a wrench, so I would need to give you a wrench first.
Yeah, but just give me a second. I'll see if Mikey's available first.
You mean for the stream?
I see. Yeah, get him in. But
I know. I think I've been in.
If he hasn't noticed that I'm doing the stream, so, get him in definitely.
Yeah, I've been in.
I just sent it, just asking him if he's available.
Sure.
I need to do this. This is me, Mom.
I've been in a hangout with Mikey before. I'm pretty sure. So,
hello.
Let's hear him speak some Norwegian.
Hey, Mama. Hey. Skal vi få det på natta igjen? This is me, Mom. Everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
For the POV nå. Ja, jo, nei, Anja får noen artist-ting. This is my mom, who's so progressive that she's got married back in 1981 and she never took me dad's last name, by the way.
Ah, cool.
Wonderful.
None of your children are baptized, right?
No. None of my children are baptized. No, they aren't.
None of her are. We were born 80, 82, and 91, and none of us are baptized or confirmed or anything.
Cool. That is indeed very progressive. I am baptized and confirmed. I'm born in 75.
Yeah.
It's the thing you did.
Ja, jeg gjorde det når jeg var på hjem til jobb. Nei, da var jeg på vei helt tilbake og skjønte. Ja. Jeg vet, glad det. Alright, so this is the coolest woman you'll ever meet. She's like 5'4" or something. Like she's short as shit. My dad's like 6 feet. Everybody knows who's the boss of the house. Like she's like 140 fucking pounds and 5'4". My dad's like 6 feet and like a good like 220. He hasn't got shit on me.
Right. Hey, Shartan, would you like to hear some really awesome Danish dialect?
Yeah.
It's from around. Sorry.
Is it Samsø? Is it Samsø?
Some what again?
Samsø?
Samsø. No, it's not. Samsø is not difficult
because
to understand.
Like fucking puts me off every fucking time I hear it. Right?
That's funny. This is from around where I live, some 20 kilometers or something away. This will probably knock your feet away. Let me just share my screen here.
Fucking knock me off you bit, mate. I'll do a fireball while doing it.
So, wait.
Because I'm a redneck, I still drink fireball even though I'm 40.
Well, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if I want to know.
It's like it tastes like sugar and cinnamon, but it's still like 40% alcohol. So you don't really taste the alcohol, but you get shit face on the fucking stuff. Okay,
so this is from around where I live. It's called Thybomål, from the town of Vorupør.
Yeah.
So I'll just see if I can turn it up. Okay, so just have a listen and see if you understand anything.
All right, I'll do my best.
Cool. Here it goes.
No, yeah, det var kan bra. Skal vi kan you could go to worm. Hey, we were like, so let's get eating no secrets at work. You squeeze that, hey, you know, say you're state baby. And yeah, when you were nurse, was state no, no, rush were nurse. So little to go in, you might yes, you follow for you, rush you follow. So say a bit of car to compress. No go got little prop more, no go all sick day never. Never, what's that? You know, a week they bought this go it was it for you come with your old lunch. You would never about lunch. That's brought a crook så. Ja, jo, det jo. Det er bra. Men det at igjen så igjen her. Nu då jag spalten det bor just på kristen bo då. Så jag kan pröva sånt här i hans kök. Så ska jag spalten en höjd och kosta upp till kan präs. För jag här i hans kök. Så ska jag ska komma till för trygg. Så. Nu då det häst. Jag skvallrar skott där höjd så. Jag skvallrar skott. Det går inte. Ja, det var nu sträng och strån där i första världskrig. Det var nog i 1913 styck. Och så det var en skjut och strån där jag svetten så slå ut på en just rö. Så fann jag en lik. Jag hamnade fatten, han var gått förbi. Så jag tänkte han ville säga det är synd eller släppa han upp i bak. Så släppte han också upp i bak. Så han kör med kust. För han har tagit ut en så jag gör med till strån på. När han kom så här. Han kom som det tog så han kör med kurs. Och så det tog ut han så han slapp han kör så fick han upp i sidan så då han är redan här.
Det är perfekt.
Jo, det kan nog det så för det var så sen lite hans arm. Han slapp han så just ju. Så gick det tillbaka. Så tog han ju minst var lugn. Han är fått en chock.
Okay, did you understand a single word of that?
No.
Hardly do I. I understand small bits and pieces.
No. That's like hearing me and my friends at like 4 o'clock in the morning after having a proper fucking piss in the pub, right? It's like
and that is speaking Norwegian. Oh,
what I can
Swedish, I
do
guess.
for you. No, what I can do for you is that I can sing you a song. I'll just get my guitar and I'll sing you a song in my dialect in Norway.
Oh, do that,
Which explains
please.
how fucking weird this dialect is. All right, so I'm gonna go take a piss, get my guitar, and I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right?
Yeah, sure. Jeff is back, so
I'm back.
I'll have good something.
I would just say I was listening in on my phone whilst I was outside, just getting a quick cigarette in.
Right.
Here's my thoughts on what I just heard, and was that supposed to be Norwegian? Was it?
No. That's a
supposed to
Danish
be?
dialect. That's a Danish dialect from around where I live.
I don't want to be offensive here, but have you ever seen the TV series King of the Hill?
By Mike Judge, right?
Yeah.
A cartoon series.
Yeah. Do you remember the character?
I did.
Boomhauer?
I know the series. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the character Boomhauer at all?
I'm afraid not. I was not that much into it.
He's the kind of one who's like, when we talk like, "Go down, man," you know what I'm saying there, Hank? That's how it sounds. It sounds like a cross between Boomhauer and the Scottish Scottish football international Kenny Dalglish, because he's damn near impossible to understand. But I'm sorry, I don't want to be offensive about your dialect, but I just
No, it's okay. I'm not from around these parts anyway, so it's okay. I moved here. Sorry.
Yeah,
I moved here. I'm not from
probably,
here.
I suppose it's like a bit like the Newcastle accent. I suppose in Britain, it's like you get someone with a real thick Geordie accent, like it's like from Newcastle, like away the lads, like
Yeah, but I understand that. I understand that almost perfectly. I don't understand this dialect. I can't understand it, and it's supposed to be Danish somehow. So Shartan is going to sing us a song in his local dialect. I really look forward to this.
Okay, this song good. This I've got to listen to.
And the song, just so you know, is about a man taking his he-dog on a walk in a lead.
Mm-hmm.
For det var en gång en mann som hadde en hannhund i et bånd i ene handa, i andre handa hund i. Og sånn at I can't forget. Oh, I forgot the lyrics. All right, give me another try. All right. Det var en gång en mann med en hannhund i et bånd i ene handa, i andre handa hund i. No, I can't forget. Det var en gang man noe som klunka lite grann, og som visst nok var et vann som han har borti, ned i fjæra stand og funnet. Og hvis historia er sann, så var det noe da et spann, det var et halvannet kantspann, det var vann i. Og så hadde noe seg sånn at han og hundemann møtte en annen mann. Hva var det nå med han? Jo, det var en ganske vanlig mann, men også han med hund i bånd. Men det var han og langt ifra noen hund. Og så sier den ene mannen når de har fliret litt grann: se med deg hannhund eller hund du har som bandhund. Nei, den her hunden og jeg går og hin i bånd, så de forbanna han skal holde seg unna. Men jeg kan trøste deg litt grann med at faren var en mann, og han var far til over 100 andre hund.
Something about a dog and a man. Something about a dog and a man. But still,
so this song was written back in like the 50s, right? And in the 60s, everybody translated shit over to English. And in the region I came from, English was not really our first language. We were really bad at it. So he gave it a shot. And I can only remember the first words. So, and he heard that like she-dog was a bitch, and he really didn't want to say that. So he-dog was a he-dog and a she-dog was a she-dog in the lyrics. So I'm going to do the English version now.
Okay.
Once upon a time, a man had a he-dog in a band. In the one hand and the other hand, so honey. Something crunking a little grand, and it looked quite like a span. Som han har vært ned på beachen her og funnet.
I still understand more of the Norwegian dialect than I understand of the Danish dialect, by the way.
Yeah, the Danish dialect was just like two drunk guys trying to have a conversation but not really succeeding.
I mean, I shared it on Twitter, and people said it sounded like a Cockney English and Southern State USA English put into a blender and pureed.
No, it's just that was actual fucking shit show, mate.
It was.
I didn't understand any of the. There's something. Obviously, you're probably well aware of the English, as we are notoriously bad at any other languages. We're not even that great at our own.
But, yeah, well, that's a problem when you grow up in a country where they basically speak the language of the world, or the lingua franca of the world. So I perfectly understand that, and I don't judge you by that.
also think from what I've understood, talking to other people from out Europe or whatever, that foreign languages are taught in schools at a much younger age than what they are in the UK by and large. It isn't till we get to secondary school that we learn, and generally,
Really?
generally so it's about 11 or 12 before we get to begin to start learning another language. And generally, the only ones the main three that are taught in the English curriculum would then be French, German, and Spanish. I learned French. One time I could speak semi-decent French, but I haven't had to use it in so long. Last time I went back to France, I realized how absolutely rusty I was, and I was like, I know after a couple of days, I got the sort of sense of it started to come back to me a little bit, but I mean, and this is, I think, why there's far less of an emphasis on foreign languages, I think, being taught in English schools. But I think there should be a bit more emphasis on it.
If you don't mind, mate, if you don't mind, I have to chime in there. I think it's because you and the French and the Germans kind of have the same inherent fault, that you think that your language is the most important language in the world, so you don't have to learn any other language, right?
Of course we do, yeah. I mean, that is that. Yeah,
However, I want to chip in here. At least, Jeff, your country is not dubbing everything that is another language into English.
No,
they are.
Oh
no,
we can do.
Hey Jeff, if you put on, if the BBC shows a movie from Denmark or Norway, you will actually have the Norwegian or Danish language sound.
Yeah, maybe they do.
And you will have
subtitles. But it hasn't always been that way. Every fucking movie from the 80s and 90s will
Shartan, be quiet just for a sec. Let Jeff answer.
Yeah. Hold on, I was pronounced that, and Shartan's right that if you go back to the 70s, 80s, whatever, most foreign language films, whatever they were shown in the UK, they were dubbed into English. I mean, it's almost like, especially things like the old martial arts movies or whatever. But I've often found that if I wanted to see that foreign films in another language, I much prefer subtitles to dubbing. I mean, like some of probably some of my favorite foreign language films were the Swedish ones of the Millennium series.
Right.
But then I was a massive fan of those books anyway, but the Stieg Larsson novels. But I would not have enjoyed them so much though if it had been dubbed into English at all. And I actually have the DVDs, and that is an option, and I still would never watch it dubbed into English.
Yeah, I have to say though, just a humble brag is that I actually dated Stieg Larsson's daughter at a point.
Awesome.
But this is kind of a current events kind of thing. But if you look at that inherently, like a lot, as you said, like a lot of the Hong Kong and Chinese martial art movies were dubbed back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, right? Yeah. This is kind of a current thing that we are actually watching this in at the language that are made, and I really appreciate that you enjoy movies in the language that are made, because that's how you are supposed to see them. The subtitles are very helpful for you.
Yes, of course.
But that is kind of a current event kind of thing. I feel I think that the Germans and the French have become better at this, at subtitling shit instead of just dubbing everything. But what you have to realize is that if somebody told me back when I was 12, and they asked me to, like, we've had English for like 4 years at the time. And then you were supposed to choose your third language, and I choose German. I would wish that somebody told me that there's a whole continent of people talking Spanish dialects. Because I would have much more use for Spanish as an adult than I would ever for German, because German is spoken in Europe exclusively in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Spanish, fucking whole of South fucking America speaks a dialect of Spanish that is more useful to you. But nobody fucking told me that, because I did not know. I was fucking 12. How the fuck were I supposed to know? And nobody fucking told me that like a third of the world's fucking population has some sort of a fucking Spanish dialect.
I mentioned, I think it was on the previous stream I may have mentioned this, but 2 years ago I went to Peru, and like one of our sort of tour guides on the Inca Trail, so I went and walked out. His English, I think, was better than mine. That was his third language.
Wow.
His first one was Quechua, which is on the native language, and then Spanish would be so it's Quechua is Spanish. English would be like his third language, and I'm like, that's your third language? That's my first language, and you speak it better than I do.
It's growing up with two languages. It's growing up with, and that's kind of what happened to me. I grew up with Danish and German, and it does give you a knack for third and fourth languages. I mean, it does.
Which is, I think, where we all grew up with English, and as I said, we don't even start. Yeah, So go on.
Also, I'm privileged that it wasn't the other way around. My parents came from Germany and had moved to Denmark when I was born. Now, the thing is, if it had been the other way around, if they had come from Denmark and moved to Germany, I might have picked up a bit of Danish, which I would have ultimately forgotten. And I would never have learned English properly, because I would have grown up in a country where everything I saw on the news, read newspapers everywhere, would be in German. It would all be translated or dubbed. Whereas now I live in a country with a very small language, which means I have to learn English to be able to get along in the greater world. And so do I observe that in my children. I've got two children, and they speak way better. I mean, they are 8 and 10, and they speak way better English than I did when I was 12 or 13 already now, because they grew up with it much more than I did. And I even when I grew up, I had the privilege that I was influenced by English all the time, through news, through English movies. Well, they had subtitles, but I heard it at the same time. So subconsciously, I was learning the language when I was watching foreign films.
Yeah,
and so was Kjartan, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably, there's definitely like minorities in England who probably are very good at two languages, because they will, can speak English, but will also be able to speak, in their native tongue. And I mean, I think people, from Asian descent, like from either from India or Pakistan or whatever, that they can flip between their native tongue and English and speak very good English, where, as I said, we I mean, we see there's this bloody high and mighty attitude that, you know, everyone should learn to speak our language. It's been a problem and as I said, we don't even begin to learn foreign languages or whatever until what we're 12, 13 years old or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, really, we need to be starting it at least 4 years before that. Really, if we're ever going to get any good at this.
And that's when I went to school. That's when I started learning English. That was in the 5th class, and that would have been when I was 11 years old. But still, I had the influence from all the years before that, where I had heard it on. I mean, not only on television when watching English movies, but also on radio. We actually had news broadcasts in English because there were people speaking only English in Denmark even at that time. So there were news in English on Danish radio.
Well, I think, I mean, I can always remember how we one famous instance where we found out that Norwegians could speak very good English. So it's the famous bit of football commentary. Do you remember this?
Oh goodness! Oh, that's awful. Yes, I do.
the Norway.
Thatcher, do you really?
Yeah,
we are the best in the world.
It's like. So,
yes, I know.
Lady Diana, Winston Churchill, Maggie Thatcher, your boys take a hell of a beating. I love that to this day. Now I laugh my ass off at that.
Hey, I want to play something for you because this is a Danish comedian called Eddie Scholler, and he made a show called "What Did You Learn in School Today?" So there's a bit in Danish here. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah,
won't be able to understand it, but most of it is in English. So there's a preface to this, which is in Danish, which is basically just him telling about what the sketch is about, and what he's saying is that someone else wrote this tune and he built upon it. So the song is called "What Did You Learn in School Today?" And this guy advanced it to. And this guy advanced it. You know it, okay?
Yeah.
But it's a good sketch. So
it's a good listen. It's a good listen.
It is. So here goes. Oh wait, I forgot sharing. What's
share
it called?
Audio.
I forgot to share audio once again because I'm a doofus. Right. Let's see. I'm worse at this than Kent Hovind.
Wow.
If you ever watched any of his streams, he's technically so inept, you can't believe it.
Well, he has people do his stuff for him, so
he has. He has to have people do it.
You're doing one of those YouTubes there, Hopswatch? I'm drinking beer because I don't have any water here. So I can't do it as good as One Ring does it way better than I can. He does it brilliant, Ken Hovind.
Or Digital Hammurabi.
He does it perfect. His Hovind is perfect.
Okay, let's see if we can get it properly this time around. Just full screen it so that you can actually see it. There you go. I love this guy. He's a Danish comedian. It's good fun. Let's run it.
Ja, det er en kinesisk melodi. Tuning. What did you learn in school today, dear little boy of mine? What did you learn in school today, dear little boy of mine? This song was originally written by an American, but I've made my own version to hear a little bit more about what goes on in schools all over the world. And in order to make it more understandable, I'll keep it on in English. And what's more natural than talking in English? Now, what did you learn in school today, dear little chap of mine? And exactly, what did you learn in school today, good old course of mine? I learned that in Britain everything will be okay as long as it goes with the Thatcher way. And that Prince Philip is sponsored by a shaving machine. That's why we also got shaved too. That's what we learned. That's what we learned in school. Now, what you know, school we got here. Learn that in the common market to have harmony. You have learned to make love to in Germany. So I learned to make love the old French ways. Oh, as long as it pays, huh? That's what the teacher said. That's what the teacher said. And that's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. What we learn in school today? What? A couple of years ago, I sang at a big party held in Elsinore, northern part of Zealand, and the guest of honor at that dinner party, you see, the occasion was the European Championship of Sea Fishing. The guest of honor was the German Prince Richard von Berlenburg, who happens to be married to the Danish Princess Benedicte. I don't know why. But he was there as the protector of the fish, I guess. And I made a special verse for him, and it goes like this. I learned that the Prince von Berlenburg is always on a fishing tour. And according to his own fishing tales, he will soon become the Prince of Wales. That's what we learn in school today. By the way, have you heard the announcement in the German airplane preparing its landing? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing our landing, so please raise your seats to an upright position, fold your tables, and fasten your seatbelts. And I only want to hear one click. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. What did you learn in school today, amigo? Las castañetas. Either you can do this or you can't do it.
He's good.
He is.
I happen to be able to do it.
I've got a bit of comedy I'll share it in a second as well.
If you don't get frustrated.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you can do lots of other things. Go to Alaska on a fishing tour.
Oh yeah. If you wonder, the subtitles are in Icelandic. So this is from an Icelandic. If you were wondering, so just continue that.
Yeah, nice.
Remember to bring your camera. There'll be no fishing. Ask your prime minister. He's forgotten why.
This isn't going to get you a copyright hit, is it? Or...
Nah, hardly.
That's why the bit I'm looking for, I'm trying to make sure it's not on any official channels, like.
No, it's someone who's shared from Icelandic television, so no.
Yeah.
If he hasn't got one, I won't get one either.
Okay.
Especially not when we're speaking over it.
Yeah.
Dear little cowboy of mine.
It's American.
I learned that we were the first to put a man on the moon, and I'm sure we'll have a McDonald up there soon. There will never be a military base, but of course, just to protect the human race, safe just in case. That's what See, a couple of years ago,
I enjoyed this. I just love the way he's doing all these different.
Yes, and he times his breaks very, very succinctly. It's Tom Lehrer timing style. This.
White House, and he asked Ronald Reagan to show him how he tested his personnel. Ronald Reagan, he called for his vice president, Mr. George Bush, who said, well, George, this is a test. Now listen carefully, George.
This is wonderful.
Your father has one child, and he's a boy. Who is he, George? Well, I guess that's me, Mr. President. That's right, George. Go back to work. And Poul Slytter came back to Denmark and was very inspired. And immediately he called for his Secretary of State, Mr. Uffe Ellemann-Jensen, and said, Ellemann, det her er en test. Lyt nu forsigtigt.
Oh.
Din far har et barn.
Okay, so he's repeating the joke here, and so the Danish Prime Minister asks the Danish Foreign Minister, your father has one child, and who is he? And so the Foreign Minister will say, well, I guess that's me. And the Prime Minister says, I know it's difficult, but it's wrong. It's actually George Bush. You can't understand that because this isn't Danish. So sorry. Yeah, it's
det er en søn. Hvem er det? Det må være mig. Nej, jeg indrømmer, det er svært. Det er George Bush. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. What did the Gaga tell you in school today? What did the Gaga tell you about the development of India? I learned that in India there are many gurus. But no rice and curry. No rice and curry. In Pakistan there are dosa butter jam. That means toast, butter and jam. But no rice and curry. In Calcutta, no rice and curry even if you're hurry. But in New Delhi, we used to have Rajiv Gandhi, but now we got a lot of problems. But no rice and curry. I've already said sorry, I'm sorry even if you're hurry. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. Bambino, tremi pronto, tremi immediatamente. I learned how to cook a soup in minestrone. And that Italian man can make a love all alone. That Federico Fellini is molto fantastic, and how to make a pizza for export in a plastic. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. Now, what to learn in school today?
This is Danish.
I mean, you have been to school, not? I thought of enough, man. I learned that Denmark is a little land, and in Denmark we do not understand. But the big world outside wonders for, and then we did not learn no more. Besides that, we have Tivoli, the Little Mermaid, and a lousy economy, man. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. Look, I should have had a Norwegian version. And actually, I spoke to a Norwegian.
Sharton,
asked him to be kind enough to switch over to English so that I could hear how a Norwegian speaks English. And he said, of course, I can speak English. No problem. But honestly speaking, I don't think my English is very typical for a Norwegian. I mean, I happen to have been studying for 22 years in England. At Oxford, you know. So I definitely think you would have to find somebody else. And I never found somebody else, so I still don't know how they speak English. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. And a common market version. Fattig, du learn geen schoolfantag. Klein, kleutertje. The only thing I learned was this. We used to have only the mannequin piss. But now we've got the EEC, and they can make an European pee, so they can piss on you and me. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. Now what to learn in school today? The little boy of mine.
Swedish.
Learn in school today. You see, I was in New York the other year. But it's very hard for a Swede to speak English, you know. Where to put the word and where to put the pressure. And where to put the whole damn thing. But I learned that when I have my breakfast in the morning, that what you put on the bread, on the butter, the sweet stuff, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, mark my words. It's not pronounced yum. It's pronounced jam. But now they've changed it to jelly. I learned that the sound of the Swedish language most people know from the Swedish cook in the Muppet Show.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
And that the Swedish girls are so pretty you feel you're in heaven. But it's hard to find a virgin over 11. That's what we learn in school today. That's what we learn in school. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's
brilliant.
Yeah, I don't really see the problem. Like a 12-year-old, that's just basically a paper cut with covered in cotton candy. That's what you like.
Yeah. Well, so, some of it didn't age too well, but I still like this guy. He's funny.
I'll put something there.
Yeah, no.
Yep. I'm putting it up now.
Are you guys familiar with an Irish comedian called Dave Allen at all?
I'm afraid not.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump off there.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I got other things to do.
No worries, mate. Love talking to you.
No worries.
Hopswatch.
Yeah.
This Gummer. Love to talk to you. You are fucking legends. Take care of yourselves, and of course, I've put it on the Bing Podcast YouTube on our chat on Twitter, mate. If you'll just share that, and every Thursday at 8:00 GMT, we're live on all the bigger streaming platforms. We're on Stitcher, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Please make sure you check that out, and have a good night.
See ya. See you later.
Sure.
I did put your link. I did put the link in the live chat to your channel, by the way. So.
Sure.
All right. Cool. All right.
Bye.
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 See you.
I don't know if you've seen this one before. This is Dave Allen talking about religion. It's really funny.
Sure.
I went to school in a little village called Rathfarnham.
You hear that? Okay.
My first day
Yeah. Sure.
at school, this convent, long winding driveway up to it. One of those Gothic doors, with great studs in it. I rang the bell and opened. There's one of these nuns, flapping. Terrifying. 3.5, 4 years of age. Terrifying. What do you want, little boy? Mummy and Daddy said I've got to come here. Yes? Well, if you come here, you've got to be a good little boy. Will you be a good little boy? And I could see past her. There's a fellow nailed to a cross. I thought you're bloody right. I'll be a good little boy. First question they ask, what do you know about God? I don't know anything about God. Who? God! Who's God? God? You do not know who God is? Sister? Sister, we have an atheist here. Let me tell you, little boy. God is, God was, and God always will be. One. What he is? What is that? He is the Father, he is the Son, he is the Holy Ghost. He is 3 in 1. You understand? I'm 4 years of age. Why wouldn't I? Greatest theological question in the world, 3 people in 1. And I'm naturally, yeah. Where is he? He is here. I can't see him. That doesn't mean because you can't see him that he's not here. He's in the cupboard. He's not in the cupboard. God doesn't go into cupboards. He's not under the stairs. He's here with us now. He's upstairs, he's downstairs, he's outside, he's inside, he's everywhere. I think he's a big one. Why can't I see him? I'm asked, do you love him? Do you love him? I don't know. I've never seen him. God loves you. And he wants your love. But if you do not give him your love, he will cast you into everlasting flame. What? He will cast you into everlasting flame. Have you ever burnt yourself? Yeah, I burnt myself on the candle. What was it like? Oh, very sad, sore. Can you imagine that pain all over your body? That's what will happen to you if you do not love God. What do you think of that? I love him. Then I asked, who was the fellow on the cross? Jesus. Who's Jesus? He's the Son of God. I've told you. Father, the Son, and Holy Ghost. He's the Son of God. He was born on Christmas Day and died on Easter. He didn't hang around, did he? What happened to him? He died because of you. Christ died on the cross because of your sins. When was this? It was 2,000 years ago. You can't blame me. I'm only 4, for Christ's sake. I didn't do nothing. Did he have a daddy? Of course he had a daddy. I've told you he had a daddy. God was his daddy. He had a mummy. Yes, he had a mummy. Mary was his mummy. So God was married to Mary. No, God was not married to Mary. Mary was married to Joseph. Shut up. Between my parents and the church, the brains are scrambled. I learned to bless myself. First time I learned to bless myself was sadly when my uncle died. And he was being buried in a kind of remote part of the Dublin Mountains. And it was a real funereal day. The wind was whipping down, the rain. And I'm only this big, and I'm kind of wandering around between these legs and this black crowd and umbrellas and dripping rain, this bloody hole in the ground. And oh Christ, I didn't know what it was all about. And I'm watching the coffin being lowered into the ground, and I hear the priest say what I think. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and into the hole he goes. That's how I blessed myself for years. In the name of the Father, Son, and into the Holy Ghost. What did you say? In the name of the Father, Son, and into the Holy Ghost. He goes into the Holy Ghost. He didn't go into the hole. I was there. I saw him. He went into the hole.
What do you reckon of that? You've seen that before?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah. He was quite way ahead of his time, actually, because he was doing jokes about religion when that was still a bit of a taboo in Britain.
But he was Irish.
Yeah, and especially in Ireland, you know, like the Catholic Church or whatever.
Oh yeah,
he was definitely one of the first comics in the UK and Ireland to do jokes about religion and along those lines, you know. Yeah. I mean, some of his humor probably seems dated now, but if you look at it in the context of the time, he was well ahead of his time.
Okay. Oh, he's dead now.
Yeah, he died a few years ago.
2005, 10th of March.
Yeah.
I've got the Wikipedia article up there.
Yeah.
I just might take a look into it because that was good fun.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he genuinely did have like a quite hard upbringing in one of those blooming like convent schools and stuff. Which I think. So yeah, I mean, which I think is where a lot of his resentment towards religion did come from. So I do think he was raised in one of those like really strict Catholic schools with the nuns and whatever. So and that was, you know,
Right. Right. It's getting
Yeah, I
late
think we
here.
should probably. I was going to say we should probably call this an evening, really.
Yeah, I think so. And it was a blast having you on. And I mean, anytime if you want to come on another stream I'm doing. So, hey, have you ever considered making another series about the Smurfs comics?
No, I've never really got into them. I mean, the reason I'm doing the Asterix thing of Hissy is partially as well because of not just because of the sort of memories of my childhood from those comics, but a genuine interest in the history of that period and where Hissy, especially it's good to collaborate with Hissy, who is really quite up on the history of that period.
Right.
I think it works well.
The only thing that annoys me, whatever you want to call it, about the series is that I read the series in Danish, so I don't know how it is in English and how it sounds. So, and I love watching you going through it. But I mean, it definitely made me aware and caught my interest for ancient history. That comic series. So I think it has had.
That did a lot. It had a similar effect on me actually as a kid. That I was like, yes, this was a lot of fun, but it made me want to actually like, well, let's actually look into like the history of Roman Empire a little bit. But it made it more, and a lot of the Asterix albums were in our school library.
So they were fine.
Yeah, and strangely they were quite helpful when I actually had to learn about Roman Britain or something. They were kind of helpful. Yeah,
they would be. Although now you're talking about Asterix in Britain, and I'm kind of preempting that or whatever. But Caesar actually never conquered Britain.
No, he didn't. He did invade Britain, and he scored a number of military victories, but he abandoned Britain.
Did he go to Britain ever? I actually didn't.
Yes. Julius Caesar did go to Britain, and he scored a whole number of victories against some of the tribes in the south. But I think he abandoned his conquest of Britain due to internal politics in Rome.
Right. Okay.
So he withdrew from Britain.
Claudius was the one who actually eventually conquered it.
Yeah.
Claudius is one of my favorite emperors. Have you read the novel I, Claudius?
I've never read the novel. I've seen some of the TV series with Derek Jacobi in, but
the TV series is absolutely fantastic, and so is actually the novel. There are two novels. I've only read the first one, but I mean that was as brilliant as the TV series. The TV series is absolutely brilliant, and everyone who has an interest in Roman history should watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hissy and I have actually spoken about maybe doing some, possibly if we expand on what we're doing with when the Asterix thing has maybe run its course, maybe doing some things like reviewing some films or whatever, and maybe maybe picking apart the historical accuracy a little bit, but also what they got right and what something like Gladiator, for example. Which I've because I was telling Hissy, the one thing that always annoys me about the film Gladiator is right at the beginning when I can clearly hear that they've dubbed in sound effects in the film Zulu. It really annoys me.
Okay, I would not be able to tell her that, and I've never watched Gladiator, so
Yeah.
so there's
It's
that.
it's a good film, but if anyone thinks that it resembles actual history in any sense whatsoever, no, it does not.
No, watch I, Claudius instead.
Yeah, I, Claudius is very good. Yeah, I mean, there are things that are. I mean, I would actually, I want to say Gladiator. I would say there are Asterix books that are more historically accurate than Gladiator. Right. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, we talked about doing things like that, or looking at something like 300. Yes, and I know 300 is based on a graphic novel. It's not really a historical film in that sense, but
nope.
Yeah, but yeah, we've discussed doing things like that. So
right. Okay, I think I'll just end the stream here. So thanks for everyone watching, and see you around on my channel, Godless Scummer. You can just plug your channel now if you want to.
Yeah, I've got a small little channel, Godless Scummer. I did put the link in there earlier, so it is in the live chat. As I said, I've got as I was just talking a minute or two ago, Hops, that I'm doing a collaboration with Hissy from Hissy's Hideaway on going through the Asterix books. At the moment, I should have a stream. It's penciled in for this coming Tuesday morning, where I should be having a conversation with a Christian friend of mine. So it could be a sort of atheist Christian discussion, which I think could be interesting. So, so yeah, that's kind of what I do. Kind of what I do, just talk about this, that, and the other.
Right, cool. Right, so this is Hopswatch tuning out or whatever. Always remember to drink responsibly. And until next time, be it a video, a live stream, or whatever, cheers.